It worked. It actually worked. Well, for me, it's only been a few minutes, but for all of you watching, almost 3 whole years have passed. That's right, I fell into a time portal. That's my story. That's my story. I'm still update the wiki. That's the lore now. The lore is that I fell. Now, obviously, I didn't fall into a time portal, as appropriate as that would be for this stream. No, various things happened at a rate of 1 second per second, just like they always do. Went through a bunch of life. But now, this is a Hiten is back to streaming stream. The plan, isn't that funny? Isn't that a funny word? Plan. The plan was for me to have this stream last Thursday so that I could take a few days to get used to streaming again. Because tonight is a Final Fantasy XIV patch, and tomorrow morning, 5 or 6 a.m., is when the new content comes out, which I will try to be the first in the world to beat, and will fail, and that's okay. Odd Garrett, it's very good to see you again. What games do you want me to play? I know at some point, like, I'm just gonna run around and do random stuff in here while I just chit-chat, but at some point I'll pop open Steam and show, like, the vast array of games that I have bought, knowing that someday I would stream again. Whoops, I have 23 seconds to kill everything. I will be unsuccessful. That's okay. Oh man, see, I'm not used to everything. What have I played and enjoyed in the meantime? Kind of nothing. There are so many things that I'm aware of. Blueprints is the main one. I have taken special care not to learn anything about it because I know that it's supposed to be good. I know that it's supposed to be a game that everybody is into. Now, what have I actually played? Pretty much nothing. I did try out Brighter Shores, which is the, like, RuneScape, the same guy that worked on RuneScape, or one of the guys that worked on RuneScape, made a RuneScape-style MMO called Brighter Shores, but it is atrocious. I can't imagine. It was weird, too, because I played it for, like, 20 hours, 30 hours, whatever, and got to the point where it was like, okay, you can't play for free anymore. Like, you've completed the free portion of the game, and you have to pay a monthly fee in order to keep playing. It's like, this is not a subscription MMO by any means. Like, it seemed very strange that they would ask people for money, and yet there were so many people in the comments of it saying, like, "Oh my god, I love it! I love number go up." You know, I love spending time working on things, and it's like, that's not really, like, that can't be all there is to the game. Oops! Wait, get out of the circle! Stop talking to him. Oh, no, I didn't get to turn it in. Oh, well. No, what have I played? I did play, what's it called? 12 word searches? I saw that Marstead had a video up of that, and I was like, I watched, like, the first 10 seconds of it, and I went, is this something I can just go play for free? And I did, and it was a lot of fun. And I was like, oh, this too would have been fun to stream. Which, if you're not familiar with that one, it is a, like, it's a game you play in a PDF. So it doesn't tell you the answers, but there's only one, you get the hang of it eventually, and you know whether you're doing it correctly or not. But kind of part of the fun is that you think you're doing it correctly, and then you realize you're not. But yeah, let me think. All right, so to recap, because I'll post this stream to YouTube as well, so that anybody who doesn't catch it can see what I'm up to and things. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, you can you could just print it out and hand it to someone. That's a good point. Although it's a little better as a PDF so that you can erase your mistakes. What was I gonna say? Okay, right. I was going to post this to YouTube afterwards so that everybody knows what's up. I don't yet know what days or times I'm going to be streaming, but I will come up with a regular stream schedule. Right, so Blueprints, Lorelei and the Laser Eyes I bought it, it's on my list, it's in my account. Clair Obscur, I don't know, should I stream it? Because I bought it figuring I would probably play it off stream, because I think it's pretty long, and it's probably, like, entirely voiced, and there's lots of cutscenes, so a lot of it is just going to be sitting and, you know, watching me watch a movie. And then, the parts that aren't are going to be me playing a turn-based RPG that might or might not be... I don't know. I was under the impression that it wouldn't be that much fun to watch. So I bought it with intention of installing it and playing it. And the thing that happens is that because I'm still trying to grind achievements here, I, like... I guilt myself out of playing any other games, which is silly. I have free time and should use it to do things that I would enjoy and not just grind for achievement points. Root Trees Are Dead, I don't know anything about that. I think I've heard of it. But if that seems like a good one, I can add that to the list. I also do still need to beat Patrick's Parabox. We were in the end, the challenge levels, close to the end. In fact, for a while, I thought that I had beaten it, and was then surprised when I went, oh, like, my last video doesn't finish all of the stuff. I have been going back and rewatching a lot of my old streams, and I'm glad that they exist. And I was like, part of, oh god, like the last week or so with all the stuff that's coming out about like AI videos that people are making like crazy, and it's like, will people be suspicious of me when I come back? Will they say, isn't this just, there's 1,000 hours of Hiten out there. Didn't somebody just train an AI on him and then start his stream up and steal his identity? Spiritually similar to Oberdin makes me feel real good. That may turn into something I play then. On a 1990s style internet. I know all about that. So yeah, so let me, I guess, recap life while I wait for Fates to respawn here. So back in, 2020, right? 2020, COVID, I was working at, I had an overnight, almost all of the, oh no, really? All right, what can I do about that? I could lower the bit rate. I am this might be a mistake. I'm streaming in 1440, which is not what I was streaming in before. Maybe? Ooh. Do I? I'll think about it. Oh. Did I? Yeah, I didn't consider whether streaming in this high quality would work out well or not. Oh, in my settings, what do I have this set to? Yeah, I definitely have it set to 2560 by 1440. Maybe, yeah, maybe Twitch just doesn't do that. So it's, I don't know, downscaling it automatically or something. Also, probably, I don't think I shouldn't be part of the affiliate program anymore, so, I probably get less quality options. If that's even how things still work. I don't even know how streaming works anymore. I also don't know if I'm going to keep streaming on Twitch. I might switch over to YouTube. Because back when I thought about doing that before, YouTube streaming was pretty rare. It's not like there were a lot of people doing it, so I just felt like discovery would be very difficult. Like, people would not be able to find you. But that's not really the case anymore. Lots of people stream on YouTube instead of Twitch. For games. I don't know about other stuff. But yeah, if it is still... Because, yeah, I'm getting a lot of... Oh, drop frames like crazy. I see them now. Alright, miserable. Let me temporarily halt the stream and redo it as something else. Because I don't think I can change it right in the middle. We'll see. I'll be right back. Alright, I will remain on the lookout for dropped frames. But thank you for the heads up. What was I starting to say? Oh, for most of the time that I was streaming, like the whole time, there was, I was usually either unemployed or working overnight. And back in 2020, I started working from home. The job that I had went remote. And that worked out great. And then August of 2021 is when I was laid off, and it was right at the kind of the, I don't know if you would say the height of COVID, but it was like when variants were coming out and everything, and I was like, I'd rather just not go back out into the workplace if I can afford to not, and I could, so I didn't. And I just sat at home and played video games and streamed, and it was a grand old time. But then I started to run out of money. Round about... Now, let me think. November of 2022 was when I stopped streaming. And there were kind of a lot of things going on. Part of it was I had... some of the games that I had played recently just kind of weren't sticking. Like, I really enjoyed Tunic. I really enjoyed the heck out of Great Ace Attorney. It was the best in the series, in my opinion. But we had a couple of misses. Loop Hero was like, alright. And Crosscode, I was like, I kind of want to quit. And part of it seemed to be that I just sometimes wasn't in a very good mood, just because of how life was going. There was... Oh, and then there was Understand, which I played for a while and would just do kind of short streams of, but it was a very sparse... That's not the word I'm looking for. Spartan? It was a game where it was just such a... Miramu! Hello! It was a game where there was like no music and hardly any sound effects and no graphics, and so I probably should have put on some music or something, but it felt as some puzzle games do, like just me staring at a screen like this and not knowing and not being able to solve the puzzle. Like, as I got further into it, it was a little bit frustrating, even though I liked the game. But, So yeah, part of it was I know games recently had kind of interested me. Part of it was maybe that like I felt a little bit. I felt a little bit, a lot. I felt really guilty about like the life that I was living, where it's like, okay, I'm at this point borrowing money from my parents in order to like pay my rent. And really, even though things were like, I've been unemployed in the past, I had a bunch of jobs that I had quit and then said, well, I'll see what else happens, and then would be unemployed for a while and just kind of live off of savings. For so long, I've been very lucky to have very low living expenses, and that enabled that kind of lifestyle to go, if I don't have a job, whatever. Which is very privileged. But I felt really bad that I'm like, well, maybe I'm not getting serious about the job search because I'm sitting around streaming. That kind of didn't work out. Like, I stopped streaming, and it's not like the plan was to stop streaming for a long time, but it was still a while before anything else happened. And then back in... Alright, so we're in 2023 now. May was when I got the notification from where I lived that they were upping the rent again. Because they do every year. It would go up by like $20 every year. And I had been thinking to myself, when that time comes, like, am I gonna re-sign the lease and stay here, or do I have to do something else? Because, I'm kind of living here off of someone else's money. And so I made oh, that's what happened. The thing came out and it was like, oh, the rent's going up $60 instead of $20. So it was going up from $930 to $990. I was like, okay, then I guess I'm just going to... Come out, Chocobo, I need you. Lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, with the rent going up, I was like, okay, well, then I'm not going to re-sign the lease, and if I don't find something, I'm going to move back in with my parents. And that wound up happening. And it was kind of miserable, kind of not the best period of my life, but and then things kind of got worse from there. It was a pretty. If you remember when I streamed the not welcome back video where I was just like, hey, like, I still exist, I'll come back to streaming someday. That was the day after I moved out, like, because I had gotten a job eventually. And I was at that point just still so done. Like, I really was not in a great place mentally and needed some time to, like, readjust. But I did, and now here I am. Well, no, I'm skipping too much. Oh, God. All right, so early last year is when I got the job. Summer of last year, I had a bad computer thing happen. Who remembers all of my bad computer things from that one time that I got a new computer? Well, this was worse. Around May was when they started talking about Windows recall, where they're like, hey, just like everybody wanted, we're adding a thing to Windows that's going to constantly take screenshots of what you're doing and feed it into an AI so that it knows what you're doing all the time. And I'm like, that's not happening. I am going to make a Linux computer. I'm not going to install even though it's like, oh, it's going to be opt in, opt out, whatever. I'm like, I just don't trust Microsoft at all. Period. So I put together a Linux computer, and not knowing anything about Linux, that was difficult. Like, it was a big learning curve, and then just after I had like finally committed to it and moved, I had all my files moved onto this computer, wiped the old computer, gave it to a family member, and then I got hit by ransomware, and a whole bunch of the data on my hard drive was not corrupted, but encrypted. Like, send us whatever it was, like $1,000 in cryptocurrency if you want your files back. And I'm like, out of all the time that I've been playing, or that I've been using Windows, I've never had any kind of problem with, like, installing something that turned out to be bad. And here, it's like after using Linux for like a month, that happened. Fortunately, I didn't... Like, it must have interrupted partway, and I could have lost so much more. Like, it really informed me on, like, you have to make sure that you have a plan for this. Like, you need to put stuff on the cloud, because there's stuff that's like, I absolutely would never want to lose that. And almost did. Like, for example, all of, like, my streams, all the Mentor Roulette streams, so, like, the most of the stuff, the other games that I play, wind up on YouTube, and, this is live, right? Yeah, let's go. All the games that are uploaded to YouTube, it's like I'm not really worried about losing those because they're on YouTube. Like, my channel would have to get shut down or something in order for those to not be there anymore. But all of the Mentor Roulette streams actually did get encrypted and lost, but for some reason I had copied those, and just those, to an external hard drive that I had, like, lent out to somebody. Like, oh, I have a bunch of stuff that I need to give to you. Let me just give you this, give you this hard drive. So I was very, very happy that I wound up not losing that data. What else has happened? I lost a bunch of weight, but I gained it back. I had never... This was shortly after I moved in here. I bought a scale, because I was like, oh, I didn't actually have a scale in my old apartment. I pick up a scale, because, like, it's the future, and they've got scales that, you can Bluetooth to your smartphone, and it tracks your weight and shows you graphs and things. I'm like, oh, great. And I bought a scale, and I hooked it up to the phone. I stepped on it. It was like 209 pounds. I'm like, that's not okay. That needs to be fixed. Although the next day, like, I'm like, I'll weigh myself every morning from now on. And the next day, it was like 205 pounds. I'm like, well, what do I start at then? But the goal was... I was giving myself 25 weeks to lose 35 pounds, which would get me down to, counting 205 as the starting point, get me down to 170. And technically, the goal was under 170, so that I could say I was in the 160s again, like I was back in high school and college, when I was in good shape. And I managed to do it in 19 weeks. 35 pounds. But then I didn't have any kind of plan on, like, what I wanted to do after that in order to, like, what weight I wanted to stabilize at, and I was very hungry. so I ate my way all the way back up to what I assume is where I was before. But I will, at some point, make it a point to get somewhat back in shape again. I probably won't try to get back down to 170 again, because it did feel, like, ridiculous. Like, most of my exercise was walking, and I would walk, like, 7.5 to 8 miles almost every day. And it felt a little excessive. But it was also, I felt younger. It felt good to be in shape. So with regards to tomorrow morning, it's either 5 or 6 a.m. I gotta check again. Pilgrim's Traverse, the 4th deep dungeon, is being added to this game. I have soloed the other 3. And I'm going to try to solo this one. The other ones were like, oh, okay, you know, I gotta solo it for the achievement, so I'll get right on it. But this is like, I have this this week off of work, and the plan is to just play non-stop until I finish it, which will probably take the whole week. And I had thought, oh, won't it be nice that I was like, okay, I know I won't be the world first or anything, like that's crazy talk. But I'm like, oh, maybe I'll be like the first paladin on Ether, or even the first tank on Ether, because I'm planning on doing it on paladin. And then yesterday when I was looking around at like what information we have on it, I was on Finn's channel. Finn is like the best guy in the world. He's the guy who makes guides for how to solo all the deep dungeons. And he's on Ether, and he's planning to do his first clear on paladin. So, so much for that. I can be the second paladin on Ether. It also, in addition to, like, streaming a little bit this weekend, instead of waiting until a few hours before the servers go down to get my stream set up and start streaming, I probably should have gone back into Eureka Orthos and soloed it again. Like, just to be used to what it's like trying to solo a deep dungeon. Like, it's not like I've forgotten, but... But it seems silly to say, like, oh yeah, I'll just pop into the brand new deep dungeon that I have no information about, and, you know, just fight a bunch of stuff and win. I'm sure that'll work, even though I'm completely out of practice. And could have practiced. Like, there's nothing stopping me from going into Eureka Orthos and playing it a bunch more. As I'm up against people who have cleared each deep dungeon hundreds of times. Like, literally hundreds. But whatever, it's all in good fun. And also, normally at this time, on this day, I would be with my Blue Mage Static, fighting Alexander. We're up to A12, which is the last one we need to beat in order to get the achievement that gives you a mount. I don't care about the mount, but I do care about the achievement, naturally. And I think we probably will beat it after one more session. Just we unfortunately couldn't tonight because one person was in the middle of moving. So that's understandable. We spent forever on the previous fight, A8. And it was like at the same, I don't know if it was exactly the same time, but at the same time that I'm like part of this Blue Mage Static and really taking part in difficult group content in this game for the first time, basically. Like, there's tons of difficult solo challenges that I've done, but none of the group content that I do is, like, I don't do Savage. I barely even do Extremes until I can unsync them. I haven't done any of the Dawn Trail Extremes yet. Because I know that I need to grind them in order to get the mount. It's like, it's not that... It doesn't matter when I get the first clear. I'm gonna have to clear them a couple dozen times in order to get the mount, so I can get the mount achievement. But as I'm... keep losing it. I'm an old man now. I can't be trusted to carry a conversation. No, really, what was I talking about? Was I still talking about oh, the Blue Mage. Blue Mages. at the same time that I was like doing that, where it's like, okay, group content, I've also been trying to clear Forked Tower Blood, which is the thing that's just like Eureka and Delubum Regne Savage. But man, it's not that the content is really hard, it's that it's 48 people, and there are some mechanics that all you need is one person to get it wrong, and it wipes the whole group. And there's a limit on re-entering it. Like, you need to spend a bunch of time and spend a bunch of resources that you need to farm up. So I actually kind of gave up on that for a little bit, because I think it will be easier once more people are, like, confidently up to the prog point that I'm up to. Because I've been to, there's basically the 4 bosses, and I've been to the 3rd one, Marble Dragon. I've seen Enrage twice, maybe once. But, was kind of sick of trying to grind that out, knowing that it's like there are people that join the group and haven't really done their homework. Like, they don't even know the previous bosses and phases that well. So the last time I went in, it was for like a party that was labeled Marble Dragon Prague, and we did not get to Marble Dragon in 3 runs. We died twice on Dead Stars and then once on Bridges. I'm like, I think I'm done with this for a little while. Because doing that at the same time as trying to clear the Blue Mage Savage fights became very frustrating. But we'll be done with those very soon, like I said, probably as soon as our next session. Because A12S is not hard on Blue Mage. Because you get to sting pretty early and just kill him. What? I keep glancing over at the dropped frames. It seems better now. So I think changing the resolution helped. I also lowered the bitrate from 6,000 to 5,000. That's probably fine. Oh, it is good. Very good. And so tomorrow there will be some amount of, like, grinding in pickup groups, because you have to get your armor and weapon levels up a bit. I don't know how high I'm going to go while just doing pickup groups before I start doing solo attempts. I might try to get to like plus 50 or so, and I don't know how long that's going to take. But along the way, I'll have to learn both the bosses and the trash. Like, trash is dangerous in deep dungeons. Eureka Orthos is where it seemed to be like enemies, like trash enemies, were much more dangerous early on compared to Heaven on High and Palace of the Dead, where it was kind of like you could sleepwalk your way through 70% or more before you started to see stuff where you needed to pay attention to what it was and make sure that it didn't kill you. And I'm going in as Paladin because it's the job that I'm just most confident on. It looks like, if this is similar to EO, tank privilege isn't going to count for a whole lot. Heaven on High and Palace of the Dead, the first 2 deep dungeons, auto attacks hurt a lot more. And there are some enemies that are just like, this deals too much damage. You can't really fight it unless you're on a tank. Or if you do fight it, you need to have the steel buff on. And tanks, while they do less damage, have the benefit of being able to fight anything. Like, there's really nothing that you should avoid or have to avoid. But then in EO, that was a little bit... I mean, in Eureka Orthos, it was a little bit different. Auto attacks seemed to not be a big deal, and there wasn't anything that like you could get away with on a tank that you couldn't on a DPS. But I'm still more comfortable on Paladin than any other class. Also, I love Shield Bash. Shield Bash is an ability that is completely useless everywhere else in the game, but it's useful in Deep Dungeon because there are enemies that have moves that will kill you if they're not stunned, and Low Blow, the stun that every tank gets, is on a, 20, 30 second cooldown, whereas Shield Bash can be used back-to-back, non-stop. And it actually did come in useful in EO. I'm imagining in Pilgrim's Traverse it's also going to be useful again. So if we're expecting that Pilgrim's Traverse is going to be pretty similar to EO, which we think it is, the main challenge, once you've learned the enemies, once you know like things that will kill you that you have to avoid, the main thing for a tank is going to be time. It's going to be, can you clear, and it should just come down to the last 3 sets of floors. Can you clear them within an hour? Because that's the amount of time that you have per set. I think I'll do one more of these and then, like I said, pop open Steam. Just kind of browse around in there. I went and categorized my whole categorize my library according to like whether I'm going to stream it or not, or whether I've already streamed it or already played it without streaming it. Oh, that was a thing that I played a bunch of, a whole bunch. I met up with friends that I knew from a while back that I used to like play board games with on a regular basis, and we wound up doing like a 5-player, like we set up and played it every week, 5 of us, playing Abiotic Factor, which is like a survival game. You know, crafting and survival, base building, but it takes place inside of a research facility, like a Black Mesa Half-Life style, and all of you are scientists. And it was pretty neat playing through it. I think they've even, like, after we hit the end and stopped playing it, they've added more, but we haven't gone back in yet to finish the new content. Oh, and then a couple of us did the same thing with Core Keeper, which we didn't actually, we didn't finish that. We were close to being done with it. And, like, one by one, people dropped out. And then there were 3 of us, you know, me and 2 other people, who were going to commit to playing all the way to the end, but we had a couple of weeks where we couldn't play, and then just nobody ever talked about it again. But Core Keeper is fun. It's like a same kind of... and actually, it's by the same people, isn't it? Because there was some crossover content where enemies from Abiotic Factor showed up in Core Keeper. Except it's more like Terraria-style graphics. Yeah, Core Keeper was big fun. I was our melee guy. Not that you need a melee guy necessarily, but it was just what I decided to focus on. Boo-doo-doo. So yeah, why don't I pop up Steam? And I gotta wait for this to finish before I quit. Do. Quit faster. Oh, I should have found out where I need to park myself in order to... It's probably Crystarium? It's probably Crystarium. I'm going to assume it's the Crystarium is where I need to park myself. For the don't care about you. Oh, now I don't have a camera. This is my when I finally got my Palace of the Dead clear. There's a little bench to sit on at the end. All right, so categories. Will stream priority. Patrick's Paradox is on here, of course, because I was in the middle of playing it and haven't finished it. Well, Blender was on there because I was using that for, if you saw the video that I uploaded like a month ago, 2 months ago, whenever it was, of a robot dancing, that was kind of an inside joke for us Blue Mages, because that was the guy that we had been fighting for months, and then the game introduced a bug that made it even harder. So that was why Blender was on there, is because I was using that. Patrick's Paradox, I need to finish. Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 3, which I started in 2019, 2020, something like that. That needs to be... Oh, I just realized I'm blocking games here. That needs to be finished. I got all the way to the end, like to the point where all you have to do is the final day, and then I stopped playing because I was going to grind a little bit off stream, and then 6 years went by. Silk Song is there, of course. Blueprints is there, of course. Animal Well, I know a lot of people liked. Chants of Sennaar is the language learning game that somebody recommended at some point. Deltarune, I'm torn. I assume there's a way to take the save file from Chapter 1 and 2, which I played and streamed. But in there, I didn't fight the secret boss in Chapter 1, and I feel like they might, whenever the end of Deltarune comes out, they might require you to have beaten all of the special bosses in order for something to happen. So before I continue playing, I might as well restart the game, go through, and beat the secret boss on both chapters. Because I beat the Chapter 2, but I didn't find and beat the Chapter 1 boss. So before I get to Deltarune to play 3 and 4, I might replay 1 and 2 off stream. So these are the ones that are in priority because I think I'll, probably play all of these before going to the other ones. And then over here we've got the Somnium Files Nirvana Initiative, which is the second game. I think there is a third one out now because I streamed the original. Arranger is some kind of puzzle game. Creepy Redneck Dinosaur Mansion 3. I'll feel bad if it was like a paid advertisement or something, but I stumbled across an article that was like, this game is actually completely freaking brilliant and everybody should go get it. And after I went and got it, I was like, did I get boondoggled? Was this someone who was paid to say that? But it does sound interesting, where it's basically like they said, hey, let's make a game. It's going to be survival horror, except it's also going to be a roguelike. but also the main gameplay feature is match 3, like you're playing Bejeweled. And he was like, and it all fits together so well. I'm like, okay. So it's there. I'd like to play it at some point. Dangerous. This is shorter, I think, than the Strong Bad's cool game for attractive people. Time loop game. That's of course the only reason that I bought it is because it's a time loop game. I don't know if I'll enjoy it or not, but I will try it. The Gnorp Apolog, I don't remember why I have this or what it is. It's possible that I only bought it because I like the name. Paper Trail is supposed to be a pretty good, I think, puzzle game. Pizza Hero is like a platformer that's just really like a really well done SNES era style platformer. So sure. Portal Revolution is supposed to be a really good Portal mod, I think. A lot of these are like, oh, I think, because if I heard that, I heard it like 2 or 3 years ago. Shadows over Loathing, I had actually started to play. The very last stream that I did was playing Shadows over Loathing. I don't think anybody showed up to the stream, which is fine. Like, that was, like, also in a small way, the part of the thing that I was like, maybe I'll take a break from streaming, because I played through, and it's not like I've never streamed to an empty room before. Like, I'm totally fine with being a small-time streamer as opposed to the alternative, which would be having tons of people show up. But I only got about 2 hours in, and I didn't even wind up uploading it to YouTube because I was like, eventually I was like, well, if I start playing again, I'll start over. Taiji is some kind of puzzle game? Could be. I don't remember. And Viewfinder I just bought because it was on sale, and some kind of like perspective puzzle thing that seemed pretty cool. So that's why that's there. We also have a whole... Oh yeah, West of Loathing I played 3 times on stream. I loved West of Loathing. Played through twice and then once with the DLC. So we've got a whole category here of might stream. Some of the games on here, I think, are things that I got for free. So Steam, from time to time, will put up a game and go, like, this is 100% off. Okay, Taiji's Witness Inspired and very good. Good. I had a feeling. It looked like it from the thumbnail. Steam will sometimes have sales where a game is on sale for 100% off, and there's like places that post that happening. So some of these games, and a lot of the games in the probably won't play, like, why would I have it on Steam if I probably won't play it? I probably got it for free. But a lot of these these may be things that were not recommended to me. Ampersat I know I got for free. Since you play as an no, not an ampersand. You play as an @ sign. Oh, Ampersat. Sure, why not? I assume that it has something to do with NetHack or other roguelikes. Ast Libra is an RPG, probably. I think this was another one. This was another one where I was afterwards like, maybe I got boondoggled. I saw some kind of article that was like, this is the best RPG that no one's ever played. It didn't literally say that, because when something says that, then I know that they're just chilling. But something about whatever I read about this got me to buy it, even though I've never heard of it. BioShock, I played the first one and it was fine. I don't know whether it's worth it to go back and like play more BioShock. I've already watched a playthrough of BioShock Infinite, so I probably wouldn't play that one. But I might play BioShock 2 on stream, who knows. Flip some, it says puzzle right there, so I might play it. HoloCure, I've played many hours of. It's Vampire Survivors-like. It's free to play and stars all of the HoloLive VTubers. I like it. I don't know whether it's fun to watch somebody play this on stream, so I don't know. Same thing with the actual Vampire Survivors. I haven't actually installed this and played it, but I could. If I run out of games, I could. Jotun, somebody probably recommended this a very long time ago. Shapes and Beats, I feel like this was SERP. This might have been specifically SERP told me to get this, and I did, and then never played it. This is Tomb Raider, and so is this. I own both of them. I don't remember if I had to pay for them. Probably not. This might be a puzzle game. Machinica Museum. Nier Replicant I picked up because for some reason I was like, I did really like Nier Automata, and I had seen enough things saying if you like Nier Automata, you really do need to go and play this one too. So I might. I don't know what this is. Looks like a Monkey Island game that was free. Sure. Puzzle Chambers. It was free. It says puzzle in the name, so I might play it. Remember Me is a game that I played. I didn't stream this, but I did play through it a while ago and thought it was interesting. And have always had it in the back of my head that I might replay it someday. And it's like, well, if I do, maybe I'll stream it. It's kind of a... It's like a... It's a little Arkham-esque. Like, the combat is kind of Arkham-esque, and the conceit is that there are a couple of puzzle sections where you go into people's memories and change them so that they remember an event differently. Slider is probably a Sokoban. Oh, no, maybe it's like a sliding block, like whatever you call those. Void Stranger, I think, is good. I don't know. And what the golf... I don't know. I don't like golf, so maybe I would like this. Who knows? So that's all we've got for the future. That's plenty of games. Great things about Void Stranger. Oh, good. Maybe that can get bumped up to the Will Stream so that I don't forget about it. Will Stream. Oh, but it didn't take it out of this one. Okay. Good. And then, yeah, the might play, won't stream is where, what do you call it? What were we talking about? Clair Obscure. That's in there because I don't know if it's... Oh, right, yes, you did mention that. I'll go... Is the autumn sale ended, didn't it? It did. Oh, well. Maybe I'll get... We have plenty of... we have plenty of games, but I might also get that. We'll see. Since, like you said, I didn't know what type of game it was. If it's like an Obra Dinn and it's also good, then that sounds good. There was also... Okay, so Danganronpa... I saw a thing a couple weeks ago about they're releasing a remake of Danganronpa 2 called Danganronpa 2x2 or 2x2. And the deal is it's going to like look nicer and everything. It's going to be more animated the way that Danganronpa V3 was. But also they're adding in a complete same length new scenario. Like... in the same length as playing through the game normally. There's going to be some kind of choice that you make at the beginning that causes everything to play out differently with the same setting, possibly same setting and same cast of characters, except that they've said different characters will be murdered and different characters will die. I don't know how they do that and have, like, what is the plot? So I definitely wouldn't just buy it in order to play regular Danganronpa 2, but have it look nicer. But I did enjoy the Danganronpa series a lot. And I wouldn't want to be... Like, I might, when that comes out, might have to get that and stream it too. I haven't thought about it too much, but it's a possibility. Anyway, I need to go to bed because I need to be up in 7 hours for the patch coming up. But thanks for coming by. It was good talking to you. And like I said, I will be, for like the next couple of days, I'm just going to be streaming Final Fantasy XIV to get through this new content as fast as I can. But then afterwards, I'll probably start with finishing Patrick's Parabox. That seems like a good choice to finish that. Even though it's not like I'll be able to ease myself in because it's going to be the challenge puzzles, like the hardest puzzles in the whole game. But, you know, that's how it works. Also, I just realized, like figured out while setting up the stream that one of the things that was lost in the thing I was talking about, the malware, was that I lost my video game music folder, which means that I no longer have the outro music, and I can go get it again, but for now the ending screen will be sadly silent. There it is. She is sleeping, but she is not playing any music. All right, that's it for me for tonight. I will be up in I think it's 8 hours. I think it's 6 o'clock that it comes back up. So I will see you then. Also, this Google thing where it says that that's the shortcut to get to my YouTube stream, that doesn't work anymore. Maybe it never worked. So I will replace it. Good night.